Do you want to know how our power station uses mechanism, boilers and turbines to make power? Let's find out. Hey! How's it going? And welcome back to the series about rails. Now in the last episode we worked on the basics of the power station, and between episodes, besides being really busy at work, I also spent a little bit of time adding some more little details in. As you see, we've got some trees and a water fountain, and I'm standing in a parking lot. But in today's episode, what I thought we'd do is we'd continue on with the power station, but this time doing the technical side and setting up a generator, because having a power station that generates power is going to be very helpful. So, let's get started. Okay, so what I thought we need to do first is probably set up something to boil stuff. Now, if you've ever used railcraft before, you know perfectly well there's something that you never want to have in your inventory. And in this case, because I'm in creative and we are surrounded by stone, I thought it'd be a really good time to use Firestone. And of course, the more Firestone you have on you, the more it burns. So let's just quickly put some of this in here, because of course this is where we catch the charcoal on fire. Of course it's going to be quite messy. We need to probably get rid of that as soon as possible. We will grab a piece of that, stick that in there, and yeah, the more we have on inventory, the worse it is. And of course, I just took a whole stack of 64, so probably wasn't the best idea, but we are in creative, and as I said, we are surrounded by stone. And it doesn't seem to have reached out to the train, which is great. And that should disappear over time. It's very poppy, but now of course that's only really for aesthetics. We don't need to have that there. What we could do on top of course is put a charcoal block. Do we have blocks of charcoal? We have some from mechanism. Don't think it makes any difference whatsoever. It just looks cool. We'll just fill this in a little bit around here. Make a bit of a pile. Like that. Now, of course, it looks like something's burning. But that's not really helpful. So, what we're going to do is, I thought we'd make a boiler from mechanism. Now, to do that, we need to basically start off with some boiler casing. And I'm probably going to set it about this high, so we need to make it roughly, the smallest you can do is a 3x3, and I'm thinking we'll put multiple in here, rather than just doing one big one. We'll do a lot of small ones. So we'll just put a bottom layer here of casing, then another layer around here with a gap in the middle, like that. And then another layer, like this. Now, of course, we could use glass if we wanted to. Am I in the way there, was I? Okay. We could use glass here to see, but since we'll never actually be in here, it's probably not a big problem. And we need to then put in a superheating element, which will go in the middle, surrounded again by some boiler casing. And then something I do not have on me. Pretty sure we need to push this at the top. And if we've done that correctly, that should turn into a multi-block, which it didn't, so I've done something wrong there. So let's superheat the element in the middle, which is right. We do need to put a valve in. Oh, I know what it is. I need to put another layer on, don't I? So let's put another layer of casing on top of that. that form up? There we go, that's formed up. And that's all we need to do that. We will of course need the valves, so I've got one there to extract the steam that this generates. And we will need another one to insert water. And I don't actually think I've got a place for water to go just yet. Where is our exit? Around here something there is. So in theory the water will come in from over there, but I haven't got anything going in. That's all just charcoal being stored. I think for now we need to probably work on a water location, but let's put in just a infinite water source, which would be from pressure pipes. One of these guys. And we can always change it around later as needed. And I'm thinking we'll just put it... probably need to have all the piping over here. So we'll put it about there. And we'll grab a pipe. So again from there, just one of those ones. And we'll send it up into the bottom of this unit. Into there. One there. And we'll need to get a configurator to suck out. As you can see, it fills up. Hopefully this guy will then be getting some water in it. Cool. Now, as you can see, it requires to be able to boil. And there is nothing currently being nothing here to configure it to be boiling. But what we can do is put in some... Actually, I'm thinking slight change of plans. Let's place that over here. Once again, needs to be bottom. Place that there. We will grab our water source for now and just stick that there with the piping going into there. The reason I'm going to do that is I'm thinking I might actually dig into this piece to get the stuff out. It might just be a little easier to work with later on. Can we reach into... Just need to configure this guy. Pull. And that should fill out. And then of course back on here... Is that right? Yes. So as you can see that's going in... So we're going to pull our charcoal in from there. Need to grab... There will do. And this one here, we will use a elite transporter, and it will come out from there. No, sorry, that's not quite what I want to do. What am I doing? Put that back to casing, and we want to run that there, but we want to run a fuel wood heater. And we'll run some of these along here. Now each one of these takes in our charcoal, so this is where our charcoal is going to be placed. And of course, they take in the charcoal, they burn it, and they pass the heating elements into the thermoelectric boiler. And of course, once there's enough temperature being made from them, they will then start producing steam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run these up both sides of here. I think I went one too many there. And we'll place this here. I won't place it in the middle, just so we can run the piping up the middle here. Don't know how to stop that from happening. I just do that. There we go. And of course, we need to place these along there like that. And they're not connected now for some reason. Am I doing something wrong here? Ah, because that's the mechanical pipe. That's right. We want to run the transporter up that way. That. Fuel heater there. And then we want to pull in. Now, where was my exit? I think it was down here, wasn't it? So we'll go out to here. run into here, and as you can see, I've got some storage coming in now. So of course the trains will come in. I'll just stop this guy for now because I am not doing anything with it. The trains will come in from Charcoal, which is over a kilometre away. They travel all the way around here, come up to here. They'll unload at the unloading stuff that's just below here. And then the items will be transported up into here. And if we go down here, just jump into in here. And you can see that I've got some charcoal being stored in here. So what we also need to do is be able to take the charcoal out. Now, how am I going to do that? We could probably just go straight from here. And we'll take it possibly down. Let's just quickly go out here. Well, that's not right. That's a good start. We need to go all the way over there. It's possibly going to create a bit of a mess of pipes. We'll run that all the way along here. Instead of going from this one initially, let's go from the other one. And we'll use this as a backup because it's a little further away and I can always add that in later. Just add those back to there. This one here comes along here. And we will head into its not quite the height I wanted actually. I want it slightly one line so it went into the blue bit, but we should be able to go along here into there, and be able to run it right through into here. So going a little slower than normal. And we'll take this down one from there, and not quite sure where the charcoal is there. I know it is storing it. I'll place that here though. Takes it out of there and runs it. Oh, actually we can run along there. Perfect. Perfect. Cool. Run that as a pull. And as you see, it's taking items out, which is awesome. We'll need to let's just quickly jump out this way. And head into here. Yeah. Head over to here, and as you can see, charcoal is now going into these. So they're fueling up, which means this guy has started producing steam. Because he has a boil rate, and the larger the size, the more boil you get, and the more water you can store. But I think that's pretty good, and we'll keep going up all the way up to the top. So we've got a bit of room. And each one of these produces about 300 Kelvin. Which is not bad. I think we can click here and it will change it to degrees. So currently they're at 50 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure if that will go up anymore. But of course each 50 degrees will help out here. So total temperature currently is 100 degrees Celsius. Not too bad. And it's producing quite a bit of steam. So what we need to do now, of course, is we need to take our steam out. So we've got the water going into there. And probably going to put the steam into the cooling tower. Mainly because there's no other real use for it. Normally, of course, what would happen in a coal power plant is that I don't like the particle effects that are going on there. Normally what would happen, of course, is the steam that is generated in this guy will power turbines, and they will generate the power. So what we're going to do, though, in our case, is we're going to send the steam from here into the cooling tower, and in the cooling tower, we're going to set up some turbines. So, let's just set that up. So, I'm thinking we need to pull out from the top of this guy. Oh, like that, right there. Now, for some reason, you would think that steam would be a gas. But for some reason, it's not. It's a liquid. So we need to set that up as a liquid. And we will set it to pull. or are you going to prove me wrong? I think that might be in the wrong place. So let's pull that. Should be there. And there. That's a transporter. That's that there. There you go. So now you can see the steam coming out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this cable along here to the cooling tower and get the pieces ready we need for that piece, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I've added the pipes in. I also thought we're gaining quite a bit of steam coming in, and I thought I'd run a tank in there. So I've put a pressure pipes tank block in here, and I was correct. We are generating a lot of steam, because as you can see, it's already full, and I've only just connected it. So what we're going to do though is we'll have to use this, and if we're using that much, let's make a turbine. Probably just have it about here. Might just put it a bit off the ground though. So let's go to there, and then we'll make it, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. Let's make it a bit bigger than that as well. Line with that there, like that. I think that's right, isn't it? Is that lined? One more. So like that. And we'll do the same over here as well, I suppose. Now the minimum size for these is 5 by 5. The larger you make them, the more the more power they'll produce. Did that actually? And we'll just fill this whole bottom row in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They all the same height. They look like they are. Cool. And in the middle, we will place a turbine rotor. So it's 9 by 9, which means it should be the right size. Is that approximately the middle? There. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. I got it perfect. So I'll run that up as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to allow for the bottom. And we'll place some rotors and some blades in. Now you'll notice that at the bottom they're really small, and as they go up they get bigger and bigger. The biggest limitation is that you can't go bigger than the actual size of your building, which looks like we've got plenty of room left, so that's cool. We'll go a bit behind them. So keep going up. Maybe to there. Oh, that might be a bit big. Oh. No, I think we should be fine on that. Cool. So I'll just finish these off. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They do also have to, can only be upright, you can't put on the side. 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Cool. We will put a layer along here as well. It seems to be getting slower and slower as I add this in. Okay, so that's our 4 edges. We're going to put some structural glass in there because we can see what it looks like. So we need to put that along here. Let me just do this and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so that's all the structural glass in. Does look like we might have room for one more, but I won't tempt it. We need to put in the middle here, the rotational complex. Goes in there. And the rest of this needs to be filled up with pressure dispensers, just like we had in the boiler. there. So that's that layer there. And then on top of that, we could put electromagnetic cells on top. Like that. And these must connect. So we can do it like this. But we can't do something like that because they must actually connect. So we can do this type of pattern. In a plush type shape. Or we can actually just fill the whole thing in, which I might do because it's... No, I'll do it. And then on top of that, we want to put a... Go back to our turbine casing again. Of course, we need to run this along here. Now you notice I'm not putting structural glass in here. You could put structural glass in this piece as well, but there's really nothing to see, so I don't really see a need to have it in here. And we just continue this around like that. And then last but not least is we put one more layer on top. Which actually just takes us up to the first layer there, so these are quite big. I'm really hoping this is going to produce a bit of power. The size we're doing. So the minimum size is about 8 tall, allowing for all units here as well. And the last piece we need to put is some vents. Now I don't know if you need to have just a certain amount of vents, but I'm just going to fill this whole thing up with vent. Last one, and then hopefully, if we've done that correctly, when you right click it, it will bring up interface, which means it has completed correctly and you put it together correctly. So the last thing of course we need to do is find here somewhere down here we need to find the valve. There it is, turbine valve, because of course we need to put some stuff in here. And we'll pull it in from there, and we'll probably put it just straight ahead, directly into there, with a cable going between, or a pipe going between. If I can get it to acknowledge, I pressed it, straight across into here, and we will need to set this go to output. Or to suck out, how to say. We could configure this to output automatically as well, but yeah. So pull, and then that should do that, and hopefully generate power. Alright, that's generating 35, and it's not even spinning yet. How are we going for steam? Well, it's still full. I wonder if we need to put more steam in there. Because this guy is not even spinning. I wonder if we should just use the pressure pipes. And it's not even... Oh yeah, no, there's a little bit of spin. You can just see it spinning. I think I might try that. Let's replace these with pressure pipes. Take this out there. We will grab, let's look up pressure. Grab one of those guys and a output. And the cool thing about these is they output instantly. So if we place one of those, oh, and we need to put a tank one of those there as well, which is tank fluid output, outtake. There. No? Did I do that wrong? Oh, no, that's what I had in there. It's actually a pressurized one. No, pressure that one. Place that in there, and that should connect. We then run this little thing along to there. way. I want it to go. Can I reach? Can I get it to go? That. Oh. There. And then a piece of structural glass next to it. Look at that. Cool. Got some movement. And we're producing one. Okay, well, we were producing quite a bit. I think we've run out of steam though. Because of course, it's instantly sucked it out. So, we're making approximately 8,000 steam from the other system. But of course, we are outputting it instantly out into this guy. And it just... we're not even keeping up. Although we are producing 251 kilo RF, so that's not too bad. I'll finish off putting the steam production and maybe increasing the steam a little bit, and hopefully that will make this go faster. So now we have some power generation using the coal plant. We can move on with powering up the computers and other things running the parts of the network. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end the episode here. If you've enjoyed the episode or found anything of use, please do hit that like button. Any questions, comments, suggestions, or just want to say hi, leave a comment down below. But otherwise, have a great day, and see ya!